You've seen these movies, maybe more than once. You laughed, you cheered, maybe you cried at the end. But here is something almost nobody realizes. Some of the most popular films ever made were quietly teaching you exactly how money really works, and almost everyone watching missed it completely. They were too busy following the story to notice the lesson hidden underneath it. 6 films, 6 money lessons that the wealthy understand instinctively and everyone else overlooks. Lessons about greed, about ownership, about the crowd, about what wealth actually costs. By the end of this video, you'll never watch these movies the same way again. And more importantly, you might start seeing your own money the way the rich see theirs. Let's start with the most misunderstood money movie ever made.
The Wolf of Wall Street. A stockbroker rises to obscene wealth, selling worthless investments to ordinary people, drowning in money, excess, and eventual collapse. Most people watch it and secretly want that life. The cars, the parties, the power. That is exactly the trap. Because the real money lesson was never get rich like him. It was the opposite. The person actually getting rich in that story wasn't the buyer chasing the hot tip. It was the one selling it. The lesson the wealthy understood instantly. When someone is desperate to sell you a guaranteed path to riches, the money isn't in buying what they're selling. It's in noticing who profits from your hope. The crowd saw a fantasy. The wealthy saw a warning.
Think about how often this plays out in real life. The loudest voices promising you fast, effortless wealth, the ones with the rented mansions and the borrowed sports cars in their videos, are almost never rich from the thing they're selling you. They're rich from selling it. The course, the signal group, the system. The Wolf of Wall Street showed you this exact mechanism wrapped in glamour. And most viewers were so dazzled by the lifestyle, they completely missed that the lifestyle was the bait. The wealthy learned long ago to ask one quiet question whenever someone promises them easy money. If this were truly so easy and so guaranteed, why are you selling it to me instead of just doing it yourself? The Pursuit of Happyness. A struggling father, broke and nearly homeless, carries everything he owns while trying to build a future through a brutal, unpaid internship. It's painful to watch. But buried in that pain is one of the most important money lessons ever put on screen. Building real wealth almost always looks, in the beginning, like barely surviving. The early stage of building anything valuable is not glamorous. It is not a montage. It is long, uncertain, and quietly terrifying. Most people quit there, at the exact stage that looks like failure, but is actually the foundation. The wealthy understand that the hardest, ugliest part comes first, and that enduring it is the price of everything that comes after.
This is the lesson that separates people who escape hard circumstances from people who stay stuck. It's not talent, it's the willingness to endure a season that looks like losing. When you see someone's success today, you're seeing the montage, the highlight reel. What you didn't see was the year they had nothing, told no one, and kept going anyway. The Pursuit of Happyness made you feel that year in your chest, and the money lesson underneath it is simple but brutal. If you abandon every worthwhile thing the moment it gets hard and uncertain, you guarantee you'll never reach the part where it pays off. Survival of the early stage is itself the strategy.
The Social Network. The story of how a now famous company was founded and the bitter fights over who really owned it. Audiences remember the betrayal, the lawsuits, the broken friendships. But the money lesson hiding in it is the single most important concept in building wealth: ownership. The people who ended up with life-changing fortunes weren't necessarily the smartest or even the hardest working. They were the ones who held equity, who owned a piece of the thing. The ones who took a payout and walked away got paid once. The ones who kept their ownership stake got paid for decades. The film dramatized in real numbers the difference between earning money and owning something that earns money for you. Almost everyone watches that story as a drama about friendship and betrayal. The wealthy watch it as a lesson about ownership. Because here is the truth most people never internalize. Your salary will make you comfortable, but ownership is what makes you wealthy. A paycheck stops the moment you stop working. Equity keeps working, whether you show up or not. The characters who understood this, who fought, sometimes ruthlessly, to keep their stake, are the ones who became billionaires. The ones who traded their ownership for a quick, safe payout became a footnote. The lesson wasn't about that one company. It was about every dollar you'll ever earn, and whether it buys you a lifestyle or buys you a piece of something that grows.
Now, stop for a second, because the next 3 lessons are the ones that change how you see your own life, not just the movies. So far, we've covered the trap of easy money, the necessity of surviving the ugly early stage, and the power of ownership over income. Ask yourself honestly, before we continue, which of these 3 have you actually been living? Not understanding, living. Because the people who built wealth from these stories didn't just enjoy the films, they walked out and changed something. Most people walked out and just wanted popcorn again. The difference between those 2 viewers, repeated over a lifetime, is the difference between watching wealth on a screen and building it in reality.
Breaking Bad. A man starts with a clear, almost sympathetic financial goal: provide for his family, be safe, and ends up consumed by the pursuit of more. At first, he names a number, enough to take care of everyone. But once he gets close, the number moves. Then it moves again. The money stops being about security and becomes about the chase itself. This is maybe the most important money lesson of all, and almost no one catches it. Wealth without a defined enough is a trap with no exit. He had the chance to stop, to walk away safe and provided for many times. He never did, because he never actually defined what enough meant.
This is the quiet financial disease of the modern world. People chase more with no finish line. A bigger house, a higher salary, a nicer car. And each time they arrive, the goalpost moves. The wealthy who actually enjoy their wealth share one trait. They defined their number. They knew what enough looked like before they started, so they could recognize it when they arrived. Breaking Bad showed you a man who had safety within reach and destroyed himself reaching past it. The lesson isn't don't be ambitious, it's know what you're actually building toward, or the building will never stop, and it will eventually cost you everything the money was supposed to protect.
And now, the one you did not expect on a list about money. Up. A Pixar film about a widower who spends his entire life saving, postponing, and waiting for the right moment to finally live the dream he and his wife shared. They save coin by coin in a jar, and life keeps breaking the jar. Emergencies, bills, time. And then, suddenly, the moment to live the dream together is gone forever. Here is the money lesson hidden in a children's cartoon that most adults completely miss. The most expensive thing you can ever do is endlessly postpone your life for a someday that is not guaranteed to arrive. Money is a tool for living, not a thing to hoard until it's too late to use it.
This is the lesson that balances every other one in this video. Yes, save. Yes, invest. Yes, delay gratification and let things compound. But up reveals the shadow side almost no finance content admits. You can be so disciplined, so focused on someday, that you forget the entire point of building wealth was to actually live. The wealthiest people, in the truest sense, are the ones who build the security and then give themselves permission to use it, to spend on the trip, the time, the people, while they still can. A fortune you never convert into a life is just a high score nobody gets to keep. Build the jar, but do not forget to open it.
Fight Club. A man slowly realizes that the possessions he thought defined his success were quietly running his entire life. The furniture, the brands, the constant acquiring. He wakes up to the fact that the things he owned had come to own him. This is the money lesson the modern world fights hardest to hide from you. Consumption disguised as success is a cage. Every upgrade you didn't need, every status purchase made to impress people you don't even like, is a bar in that cage. The film turned this into something visceral and unforgettable, and yet most viewers walked out and went shopping.
The wealthy, the genuinely wealthy, not the performers, understand this in their bones. The goal was never to own expensive things. The goal was freedom. And freedom comes from owning assets that pay you, not liabilities that drain you. Every dollar spent proving your status to strangers is a dollar that could have bought you a piece of your own independence. Fight Club showed you a man who had to lose everything to finally see that the stuff was never the point. You don't have to lose everything to learn it. You just have to notice, before he did, that the things you're chasing to look successful might be the very things keeping you from ever being free.
So there they are, 6 films you've almost certainly seen, and 6 money lessons hiding in plain sight the whole time. The Wolf of Wall Street. Easy money is bait, and the seller is the one getting rich. The Pursuit of Happyness. Surviving the ugly early stage is the strategy. The Social Network. Ownership beats income. Breaking Bad. Wealth with no defined enough is a trap. Up. Never postpone your life so long that the money outlives the point of it. And Fight Club. The things you own can end up owning you. The stories entertained millions, but the lessons were only ever collected by the few who were paying a different kind of attention. Now you're one of them. And here's a challenge. I deliberately left one obvious money movie off this list. Tell me in the comments which film you'd have added and the lesson you think it teaches. If this changed how you see these films, the subscribe button helps us keep making them. This video is for educational purposes only, not financial advice.
Thank you for watching. Invest in yourself, invest in your future. See you next time.